asking, what made you get into politics?
Wow, good question. I have, as I said, I have 3 children, and a lot of people said, well, where have you been for the last, 25 years? And my answer simply is raising kids, which I feel is the most important thing I could do.
It is. That's awesome.
I mean, if I became president, those 3 kids would still be my biggest achievement, really. So that's number one, where I've been. And then I look at my state and I see where we're headed. I look at it from a fiscal point of view, first of all, because as you could ask any of my 3 kids, what are the 3 words that Dad says to you all the time? And it's follow the money. So when you see where money's being spent and not spent and wasted, and all of these agendas that simply aren't working, and it's costing more and more money, and we're going further and further in debt, and I see my 3 kids and I'm thinking, are they going to stay in this state that I grew up in, that I was born and raised in Delaware all my life? I know it's hard for you to believe, but yeah, I've been in cornfields my entire life.
Cool.
Married, my wife is born and raised here on a poultry farm. So yeah, I mean, so I look at that and I think, where are my kids where's the state going to be when my kids are adults, and will they choose to move back here? Will it be good for them to move back here? So a couple years ago, I jumped in, got my feet wet, ran against an incumbent, which is very difficult because once the establishment's there, it's very difficult to move them along. And so when people have said, yeah, Bob, it sounds real good what you want to do, but how are you going to do it? I said, I can't do it by myself, but if I let enough people know, if I'm willing to actually put these facts out there and make them interesting enough that people actually read them and think about it, or hear and listen and get involved, then those people are going to start calling their representatives and their senators, and he'll hear from them. And other people are everybody's going to start saying, hey, is this guy, what he's talking about, is this true?
Yeah.
If it is true, how come you haven't been talking about it? How come you haven't been part of the solution, but you've been part of the problem? And that's how change starts. The three sentences, they're just very short sentences at the bottom of all my signs. It says, get informed, get involved, make a difference. And so the first part is to get informed. You start informing people like I do when I go and I knock on their doors, and they're like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. So now they're informed. Show up on September 6th and vote.
Right.
Now you're involved. And guess what? Together, we'll make a difference. And that's really how simple it is. I've told my kids that since they've been little. Make sure you've got good information, and then do something with that information, and you'll see the difference.